The gym became completely quiet. Harper's mean laughter stopped suddenly in her throat, when the big, heavy wooden doors opened wide. Chloe stood there, not wearing the ugly plastic trash bag that the others had made her put on. Instead, she was wrapped in beautiful shadows and soft silk, with her hand gently resting on the arm of a very scary but handsome billionaire. Oak Ridge Academy was a huge school covered in ivy, like a strong castle in Connecticut. It was made for the children of important people like politicians, rich money managers, and tech bosses. For Chloe Evans, who got in with a scholarship and lived in a small two-bedroom apartment above a loud bakery in a not-so-nice part of the city, this school was meant to be her big chance for a better future in college. But every day felt like a hard fight just to get through. Chloe tried to stay quiet, worked hard for perfect grades, and hoped no one would notice her. But it is hard to stay hidden when the popular boy at school sees you. Tyler Hayes had a natural, sunny smile and charm that made people forget he was empty and not kind inside. He was the star player on the football team, the son who would inherit a big business in buildings and land, and he had a back-and-forth relationship with Harper Bennett for a long time. Harper was the clear queen of the school at Oak Ridge. She was very pretty, but her heart was full of mean and poisonous behavior. When Tyler broke up with Harper in public a month before the big senior prom, everyone at school waited to see what would happen next. Then a week later, Tyler came up to Chloe by her locker and asked her to go to prom with him. He gave a shy and real-looking smile. Chloe thought it was like a wonderful dream. "I am tired of all the fake games," Tyler had said to her, leaning on the cold metal lockers. His blue eyes looked honest. "I just want to go with someone who is real. Someone who does not play those status games." Even though something in her head warned her not to, and against her smarter thoughts, Chloe said yes. For 3 whole weeks, she lived in a strange and delicate happy story. Tyler carried her books for her, sent sweet goodnight messages, and stood up for her when Harper's friends gave them angry looks in the lunchroom. To get ready for the special night, Chloe worked extra hours at her weekend job at the diner. She saved every single extra dollar she could. She found a pretty old emerald green dress at a second-hand shop in town. It was not from a fancy brand, but after many hours fixing it on her mom's old sewing machine, it fit her body perfectly. The night of the prom came with warm air that promised a big spring rainstorm. Tyler picked Chloe up at his shiny silver sports car. He looked very good in his nice tuxedo and gave her a wrist flower made of white orchids. He told her she looked beautiful, and for one short happy moment, Chloe believed that the mean parts of high school were finally over. "We will make one quick stop before we go to the main place," Tyler said in a smooth voice as he turned the car onto a private road with gates. "Some of the guys are taking pictures before prom at the country club. It will be fast." Chloe felt her stomach get tight. The Oak Ridge Country Club was Harper's favorite place, but Tyler held her hand and gave it a squeeze to make her feel better, so she pushed down her worry. When they walked into the fancy entrance of the club with bright lights from chandeliers, about 30 older students were already there, holding glasses of bubbly apple juice. The second Chloe stepped in, all the talking stopped. Harper Bennett stood at the top of the big marble stairs, wearing a special red dress that looked like spilled blood. A bad, winning smile was on her lips. She walked down the stairs slowly, staring only at Chloe the whole time. "Tyler, my dear," Harper said in a sweet fake voice, not even looking at him. "You really did it." Before Chloe could understand what was happening, Tyler moved away from her. His warm and nice way disappeared, turning into a cold and planned smile. He walked right over to Harper and put his arm around her waist. "A bet is a bet," Tyler said loudly, so the whole room could hear. $50,000 for the graduation trip fund, just like we said. I brought the poor charity girl." The room filled with loud laughter. It was a sharp and hurtful sound that felt like it went straight into Chloe's heart. Her eyes got blurry with tears, but she could not move. Her feet felt stuck on the expensive marble floor. "Oh, do not cry, Chloe," Harper said in a mocking way, stepping closer. You did not really think Tyler Hayes would take a girl who smells like cooking oil from the diner to the senior prom, right? But we don't want you to feel totally left out. We even got you a special dress. Harper snapped her fingers. One of her followers came forward, holding a crumpled black trash bag made for heavy work. Harper grabbed it and pushed it hard against Chloe's chest. Put it on, Harper whispered in a very mean and quiet voice, only for Chloe to hear. You are trash, Chloe. You always were. Put it on or I promise my father will make your mother's bakery lose its lease by Monday. I already have the papers ready. Chloe's heart felt like it stopped. Her mother's bakery was already struggling to stay open. Losing the place would destroy their life. Tears ran down her face and ruined her simple makeup. Chloe's shaking hands took the plastic bag. With the whole senior class holding up their phones to record and laughing loudly, Chloe had to pull the thick and embarrassing plastic bag over her lovely emerald dress. She tore holes for her arms in the strong material. It felt awful, hard to breathe, and completely heartbreaking. When the plastic was on her shoulders, Harper laughed one last loud time. Now, get out of my sight. With tears making her blind, Chloe turned and ran out through the heavy glass doors of the country club, going into the strong pouring rain. The storm started right when Chloe reached the road. Rain hit her face hard, sticking her hair to her cheeks and making a sad, beating sound on the thick plastic bag. She ran until her lungs hurt. Her cheap silver shoes from the thrift store broke on the bumpy ground, so she kicked them off and kept running with bare feet through cold puddles. She did not know where she was headed. She only knew she needed to get away from the mean laughter that kept ringing in her ears. She fell onto a metal bench under the weak yellow light of one street lamp, far away from the country club and the bright gym where the prom was happening. She hugged herself tight, shaking a lot from the cold. The emerald dress under the plastic was wet and ruined, with green color leaking into the dirty water by her feet. She hid her face in her hands, and her cries mixed with the thunder. She was so lost in her sadness that she did not hear the car coming closer. It was not a loud sports car sound, but a low and strong hum that she could feel in her bare feet. A shiny black luxury car stopped right by the curb. The dark windows hid everything inside, making it look like a moving shadow made of metal and glass. For a moment, Chloe stopped crying, as a wave of real fear cut through her pain. The back door opened smoothly. A man stepped out into the heavy rain, but the water seemed to stay away from him. His wide shoulders stayed completely dry. He was very tall, wearing a perfect dark blue suit that seemed to drink in the light around it. As he stepped into the street lamp's glow, Chloe's breath caught. He was stunning to look at, with a strong and noble beauty that felt like it came from old stories. His cheekbones were sharp, his skin was smooth like white stone, and his eyes were the color of old frozen honey. This was Alistair Croft, the quiet billionaire boss of Croft Industries. People in the top business world whispered about him. He was like a ghost who could buy whole companies with one call and never talk to the public. But he was also something much older and more powerful. Alistair was the leader of the North American Vampire Court, a hunter who had lived since the time of old English kings. Alistair's honey-colored eyes looked right at Chloe as she shook. He did not show pity. He looked at her with a quiet and strong power. He stepped closer, and his presence made the wind around them go quiet. Chloe Evans. His voice was deep and smooth, like soft cloth, sending a shiver through her that was not from the cold. It was a voice that could rule whole countries. "How do you know my name?" Chloe asked with a shaky voice, pulling the plastic bag tighter around her. She knew she looked sad and weak. "I know many things," Alistair said, stopping just a short distance away. "I know that exactly 73 years ago, your great-grandmother helped a man who was bleeding in the snow behind her eating place. She hid him from bad people who were chasing him, and she asked for nothing back. She saved my life." Chloe looked up at him, her thoughts trying hard to understand. 73 years ago? That cannot be. You look like you are only 30. Alistair gave a small, cold smile that did not warm his eyes. I promise you, I am much older than that. A debt of blood was promised to your family that night. I have watched over your family from hidden places ever since. I have seen your quiet strength and how you keep going. And I saw what those silly rich kids did to you tonight. His eyes looked down at the black trash bag stuck to her wet body. The honey color in his eyes turned to a deep hunting red. The air around them got much colder, and ice formed on the edges of the metal bench. They tried to break you tonight, Alistair said softly, reaching out. His hand in a glove gently moved a wet piece of hair from her cheek. His touch was icy, but it sent a warm spark right to her heart. They tried to throw you down in the dirt, but they made a big mistake. There is nothing I can do, Chloe whispered, more tears coming. If I fight, they will destroy my mom's business. Harper has all the power. Harper Bennett only thinks she has power, Alistair said, his voice full of old dislike. Her father's job in politics is paid for by companies I secretly own. He is like a small piece in a game he cannot see. They wanted to make you a big show, Chloe. Then we will give them a big show. Alistair took off his large, heavy coat lined with silk. In one smooth move, he knelt down in front of her. He grabbed the top of the trash bag and pulled it apart with easy strength, throwing the broken pieces on the wet ground. Before Chloe could feel more cold, Alistair wrapped his wonderful coat around her shoulders. The coat felt so warm, with smells of wood, nice perfume, and a bit of metal. He pinned it at her neck with a shiny red jewel pin from his pocket. The coat covered her ruined dress like a royal dark gown. Stand up, Chloe, Alistair said, in a gentle command. She stood, feeling a strange, brave feeling come into her from being close to him. You are now under the protection of the House of Croft, Alistair said, holding out his arm. The rain had stopped around them because of some unseen force. Tonight, you will not walk into that gym as someone hurt. You will walk in as a queen. Shall we? Chloe looked at the perfect and scary immortal man in front of her, and for the first time that night, she smiled. She put her hand on his arm. Let's go to prom. The ride back to Oak Ridge Academy felt like a fast dream of wet roads with lights and the super-rich feel of the luxury car. Chloe sat in the soft leather seat, wrapped in the big warm coat from Alistair Croft. The ruined green dress underneath felt far away now. Alistair sat across from her, calm and strong, like a quiet fighter. He made one short phone call in a language Chloe did not know. It sounded old and rough like ancient words. Then he looked back at her with his honey eyes. He took out a long flat box covered in soft cloth from a hidden spot in the car. The coat makes a point, but you need strong protection, Chloe, Alistair said quietly, opening the box. Inside on black cloth was a beautiful shining diamond necklace. This was made by a famous jeweler long ago for a strong lady who knew how to fight. It belongs on you tonight. Chloe breathed in surprise as his cold-gloved fingers put the heavy necklace around her neck. It sat perfectly against the big coat. She looked like a royal person coming back to take her place, not a regular high school girl. When the luxury car stopped at the gym entrance, the storm was still going outside. But inside the car, everything was calm. A driver in uniform with dark glasses opened the door and held a big black umbrella. Alistair stepped out first and gave his hand to Chloe. The moment her bare foot touched the red carpet, a wave of cold air went ahead of them into the doors. Inside, the gym was decorated like a fancy old garden from France. A big group of musicians played a popular song like a slow dance. The floor was full of rich kids in expensive clothes. On the stage at the end, the principal held shiny fake crowns for prom king and queen. Tyler Hayes and Harper Bennett stood next to him, smiling big at the happy crowd. Harper enjoyed the attention in her red dress under the lights. Then, the heavy wooden doors of the gym burst open with a loud bang that shook the seats. The music stopped right away. All the talking from 300 kids went silent, replaced by a heavy, scared quiet. The strong, powerful feeling from the entrance pressed on everyone. Chloe stood in the doorway, barefoot, wearing the billionaire's big coat, with the bright diamonds shining. But the man next to her took everyone's breath. Alistair Croft looked like a dark, powerful being from ice and darkness. He put his hand lightly on Chloe's back and guided her forward. The crowd moved away fast. No one made a sound as the pair walked slowly down the middle. Students moved back because their deep feelings told them to stay far from the man with the old honey eyes. Tyler's sure smile disappeared, and his face went white with fear. He stepped back on the stage without thinking. Harper was too full of her own pride to see the danger. When Chloe and Alistair reached the stage, Harper grabbed the microphone from the scared principal. "Is this some joke?" Harper's voice was high and loud in the quiet room. She pointed at Chloe. "I told you to leave, you sad little rat. Who is this guy? Did you pay an actor to be your rich boyfriend?" The bowl of drink on the table cracked, and the liquid froze solid. Alistair did not yell. He did not need to. His smooth, deep voice reached every part of the room without help. "You are Harper Bennett," Alistair said, and the words felt heavy, like a final judgment. "Daughter of Senator Thomas Bennett. He has exactly $14 million in secret illegal money for his campaigns in a special bank in Geneva." Harper's face went pale. The microphone fell from her hand with a loud noise. Tyler looked at her in shock, understanding how big this was. Alistair kept talking as he stepped onto the stage stairs, staring hard at Harper. "His work is paid by groups that get money from my company, Croft Industries." Everyone in the rich crowd gasped. Every student knew that name as the strongest in business. "I bought this school 20 minutes ago while in the car," Alistair said smoothly, still looking at the shaking girl. "I ended the leases for every business property of the Bennett family in the state. By tomorrow, government people will get the secret records of your father's hidden money. Your time of being mean ends tonight, little girl. You are nothing." Harper fell to her knees on the stage, her red dress spreading out as she breathed fast and hard. Tyler tried to run to the back, but Alistair looked at him for a quick second. Tyler tripped and fell hard, holding his chest as a cold feeling stopped his breathing. Alistair turned away from them like they were tiny bugs. He held out his gloved hand to Chloe, his honey eyes becoming softer with respect. "The music stopped, but I think they owe you a dance, my queen." The leader of the music group jumped to his spot with fear and started a beautiful slow dance song. The scared players followed. No one else stepped on the dance floor. All the students, adults watching, and teachers stayed pushed against the walls, watching in total quiet amazement as the scene happened. Chloe put her small, warm hand in Alistair's cold-gloved one. He pulled her close, his other hand on her back, through the thick silk coat. Even though he was much taller and she had no shoes, he moved with perfect smooth steps, so she felt like she was floating. They danced in big circles, the diamonds on her neck sparkling bright under the lights. "You did not come only because of the old debt from 73 years ago, did you, Alistair?" Chloe whispered, her voice soft under the music. She looked up at his perfect, scary face. The excitement from the bad night was fading, leaving clear thoughts. She was dancing with a real creature from scary stories, but she had never felt safer. Alistair's lips made a small, dangerous smile that showed sharp teeth points. "You notice things well, Chloe. Yes, the debt is real, and my promise to protect your family is something I have kept for many years. But tonight's mean trick was not just from spoiled kids. It came from something bigger." Chloe missed a small step, but Alistair held her steady and kept the dance perfect. "What do you mean?" she asked. "Harper planned it all? She has hated me since first year." "Harper is empty and easy to use as a tool," Alistair said in a low voice, that felt warm against her even in the cold air. For weeks, an old enemy group called the Bathory Syndicate tried to pull you out of the safe protections I put around your home and school. They could not reach you there, so they put ideas in Tyler's weak mind. They used his pride and Harper's jealousy. They wanted you alone and broken in the storm, so they could take you. Chloe's thoughts spun fast. The normal school problem seemed small next to this hidden, dangerous world. Why me? I am no one special. Just a poor girl who smells like food from work. You are the last person from an old, special family line, Alistair said with clear respect. Your blood has a tiny difference that makes you safe from vampire control and mind powers. Bad people could use you to make weapons against my group or create hunters. The enemy wanted to grab you tonight and keep you locked away. A bad cold feeling went through her, separate from Alistair's power. But you found me first. I will always find you, Alistair said, holding her a bit tighter. His eyes showed strong protection. When his helpers told him the plan, he stopped the enemy team near the club. Their danger was gone. Then he came for his queen. The dance music grew big and strong. Alistair turned Chloe smoothly, the coat spreading like wings. Your old life ended when they put that bag on you, Chloe. You cannot go back to normal days. You are noticed now. If you leave me, the enemies will keep coming. So what do I do? Chloe asked, her heart beating fast. Am I trapped with you? Alistair stopped the dance. The music halted. He touched her face gently with his thumb. You are not trapped, Chloe. You are the most protected treasure of the court. I offer you a high seat of power. I offer strength to push back on everyone who made you fall small. Come with me tonight, and you will never have fear, no money worries, or mean people again. You will rule in the shadows. Chloe looked around past Alistair. She saw Harper crying on the stage, looking small and broken. She saw Tyler scared against the wall. She saw all the rich kids who laughed at her now watching with fear and respect. The trash bag had been like a covering that changed her. She looked back at Alistair and felt a strong, powerful feeling grow inside. Take me home, Alistair, Chloe whispered with a new, strong smile. Alistair's eyes shone with victory. He gave his arm again. Without looking back at the broken popular kids of Oak Ridge Academy, Chloe Evans walked out of the gym, leaving her sad past behind, and stepped into the beautiful, endless dark. This story teaches us important things about life. Kindness from long ago, like Chloe's great-grandmother helping someone in need, can create chains of good that last for many years. Bullying and judging people by their money or clothes is wrong and can bring big consequences, because true power comes from character, not fancy things. It also shows resilience, staying strong when things are hard, and how standing up with help from good forces can change everything. In real life, remember to be kind to everyone, work hard like Chloe did for her grades, and know that your actions today can protect or help others in the future. Learning about history, old stories, and different cultures, like vampire legends from around the world, helps us understand human fears and values better. Always choose courage and fairness. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe so you don't miss my next video.